Now I have my studio set up, I think it's about time I actually set my ZV-E10 up properly with all the correct settings. I've never actually done it, mainly because I'm just kind of pointing and shooting with a lot of the UGC content I'm doing, but now I'm actually in a space where I'm gonna have some set lighting, kind of a set location. I think it's really about time that I set everything correctly so it's gonna give me the best image possible. And to do that, I saw a tutorial from Gabriel VIP, which is another creator on YouTube. In a video, he basically goes through how you should set your ZV-E10 up for this exact scenario. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. So first of all, we're going to want to set it to manual exposure by going into the menu and then choosing manual exposure. So then we're going to want to switch it to 1080 to 4K, and then we're going to choose our frame rate. We're going with 30p 100, so that's 30 frames per second. It's just going to give the highest quality possible. So whatever your frame rate is, you want your shutter speed to be double that. So in this case, it's going to be 1/60. And then the f-stop, we're going to go as low as possible, which on this lens I'm using is 3.5, as that is the kit lens. For the exposure, we do want to turn zebras on. So this is going to actually show the exposure, how exposed you are on the actual screen. And 70 means 70%. So then from here, what you want to do is set your ISO down to 100. And then you want to click it up one stop at a time until you get all those zebra lines on your face. Now it doesn't matter if it's in the background or not, but you want your face set at 70% exposure. This can always be changed to your personal taste. And following that, what I need to do was set my white balance. So to do that, we're going to white balance, go down to custom, press right, and then press set. Hold a white piece of paper in front of the camera. It's going to take a photo and actually tell you what your white balance is. And well, here's the end result. I didn't want to spoil too much as I was doing all the settings, so I really couldn't show too much of what was happening outside of what was happening in the camera. But yeah, I think it's a huge difference. I got my line just a little bit better. Actually correcting the white balance and the ISO to get correct for once has made a huge difference. Now, of course, there's a bunch of changes I could make. Right now, I think my lights need to be probably a bit too bright for the mood that I would like on camera. And that comes down to the lens that I'm using with the lowest f-stop of 3.5. So it's really not letting that much light in, and it's not really giving me this separation or the blur behind me. Like I said in a previous video, I am looking at getting a 16 or 17 mil that has an f-stop of 1.4. That means it's gonna give me that separation, and it's gonna allow me to have a lot more light in, which means I can probably turn some of these lights down just a little bit and not need to turn my ISO up. Because as we know, when we turn our ISO up, it's going to create a bit more of that noise. So ideally, we want to keep it as low as possible. And it's still pretty high. Right now, it's at 1250. So just like when I watched Gabriel VIP's video, I hope you found this useful, interesting, and maybe got you thinking about your camera and about the potential that you can actually use on such a small camera like the ZV-E10. Thank you for rocking with me. Hit that subscribe button, like button, share this with a friend, all that great stuff. And well, I'll see you in the next one.